What kind of bait is the right bait for you? And what about tackle boxes? Do they get better year after year? They do, and we'll show you some of the new improvements this year. And we've got a new angler in the world, one of the youngest anglers in our First Fish segment. That's all coming up on this episode of Live Bait. Jim, I feel like I'm in a museum honoring everything that we love.
Right on top like that. And there's our Palomar knot.
I think I do not want to let that one go.
Healthy, hardy, and safe, certified Arkansas bait fish.
Let's start off today's episode with First Fish. We go out to young Trip. He's 4 years old and he's about to join the fish club.
Hey, you got one real good, real.
What do you do?
You got it. Here. Good job, buddy. Good.
I got it.
Where you going? You just done? You want to hold this? You want to touch him? You want to hold him?
No, I don't.
Trip is not going to stop at one fish. Now, after that nice catfish as a good introduction to the sport, he's ready for his first bass.
It is fun.
We would love to showcase your first fish photo, so send them to us at fishphotos@livebaittv.com. We'll put them on the air and welcome you to the ever-growing club of happy anglers. Let's close out this segment with the other young anglers. This is out at Coldstream Fish Farm in Paragould, Arkansas. These young kids are enjoying their day with some quality minnows. Oh, look at there. Hey! There you go. That's got some size to it. There we go. All right. There we go. Look at there. Way to go.
Good catch, Ava.
Oh my, everyone.
What is it? Oh, it's a big one. You got it? Woo! Keep going. Keep going.
Ah!
Keep going.
Bye, Rosie. Bye-bye.
Do you know how to throw it?
I'm going to go get me another minnow.
When Live Bait returns, we'll meet a fish farming family that started right at the beginning, and we'll learn which bait is right for your style of fishing. We will feature a lot of your photos throughout this season. Send them in to fishphotos@livebaittv.com. One of the great stories of American enterprise is the rise of the bait fish industry. Several people with similar ideas right after World War II. We've told you some of these stories in this television show. Today, we tell you about pool fisheries, 2 lines of ancestors and 1 great company. Last week we featured I.F. Anderson Farms, one of the long-standing fish farming families. In that feature, they mentioned they moved to Arkansas from Mississippi because of the unique quality of minnows in a town called Lonoke.
He bought some from a gentleman across the highway from us today. He took them back and they handled the best of any minnows he tried to handle. And so he said, I don't know if it's the soil type, the latitude, longitude, the climate, or water quality, but he said, I've got to raise those minnows there.
The man who had those magic minnows, Ewell Nixon. His great-grandson now runs Pool Fisheries, also in Lonoke, Arkansas. What is amazing is the innovation taking place among several inspired young entrepreneurs right after World War II. Their legacy is a $400 million industry. This is Landon Poole, a fourth-generation leader who meets today's demands by staying connected to the past.
Well, this is the farm that my great-grandfather grew up on. And this is Main Street right here in Lonoke. And he, in his pastime, which he didn't have very much of, but when he did, he liked, working with his hands and carving and whittling, and he made this model after that. Won an award at the county fair for it, and this is all just, like I said, just pastime stuff, just not anything to, probably wasn't trying to, he just, probably somebody told him, hey, you need to, that's pretty elaborate, you need to enter that into something. My other great-grandfather, Ewell, he started the shiners. He got the shiners from the game and fish and put them in this canal. People would go out in the ditches, they were using them to feed bass. If people go out in the dishes and use them they were like making great crappie and bass bait. Well, he just wanted some for himself, and he didn't want to keep going over there, so he just put them in his rice canal. And eventually he started selling those, making more money off of the shiners than he was his rice. So he just put ponds on all that rice, on that rice land. Started doing shiners full time.
A lot of heritage here. I mean, when you look at that photo right there, there's 4 generations. That's got to give you a lot of personal pride that you're kind of caretaking something that started with your great-grandfather.
Exactly, yeah, and carrying it on, and if my little girl wants to carry it on, good for her, and if she doesn't, I understand, because it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Oh man, but yeah, it feels good, and I'm happy to be doing it. Wouldn't want to be doing anything else. So, like I said, we've been blessed and able to carry this out. A lot of businesses, they don't have generation upon generation, but it seems like in aquaculture, agriculture, it we kind of get that opportunity, and we're ready to keep it going.
Pool Fisheries ships all over the country, and each generation has shown the ability to adapt and overcome whatever the challenges of the day may present.
Ben Batten, I'm Chief of Fisheries for the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission, and I've been fishing since I was a kid. I have a lot of great memories with my family, are chasing crappie, catfish, and bass. Arkansas is extremely fortunate to have over 90,000 miles of streams and rivers, along with 600,000 acres of lakes. And all of those equal a lot of great fishing opportunities here in the natural state. In order to help keep those fisheries great and fund fisheries management, we require that all people 16 and older purchase a fishing license. At just $10.50 here in Arkansas, we have one of the most affordable fishing licenses in the country, and a quick trip to the grocery store to buy some fish will tell you that it doesn't take many trips out to recoup the cost of that fishing license. So what do you get for your $10.50 fishing license here in Arkansas, and what does it mean for aquatic resources here in the natural state? The major funding sources for fisheries work in Arkansas include both the sales of license and trout permits, along with sport fish restoration funds, which come to us from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. These funds alone equal $5 million a year that go towards making fishing great here in the natural state. This also includes the creation and maintenance of fishing access areas, including both boating access and bank fishing access. There's a lot of great work that goes on here in the natural state, so know that when you buy your license, that money is going back to fund, and you are an important part of conservation. So we're fortunate here in America to have a great system of conservation that's funded both through federal grants and the purchase of fishing license. So your fishing license purchase contributes to conservation of fishing experiences across the country.
We will feature a lot of your photos throughout this season. Send them in to fishphotos@livebaittv.com. Pool Fisheries enjoys a unique presence in the bait fishing world. Let's take a closer look at the bait that makes fishing great. COVID certainly changed just about everything worldwide. The fishing industry was no different. Pool Fisheries adjusted successfully by providing what the customers wanted. You know, a year ago, we were heading into COVID with a whole bunch of uncertainties, a whole lot of questions, wondering what was going to happen. And this industry took off.
Right.
Because all of a sudden people kind of reconnected with the outdoors. We got 7 million new anglers nationwide to come in and try this sport. And this is really the roots of fishing right here.
Yeah, we're feeling it. I mean, we've never seen an uptick like this since I've been farming the past 10 years. I haven't seen anything like this.
Pool Fisheries is ready with whatever type of bait you need. Let's hear straight from the expert who grows them.
These are what we call medium goldfish. They're not our feeder-sized goldfish. A lot of our feeders go to aquariums to feed other fish, or you know, in ponds to feed their bass or whatever they're growing, crappie, whatever they're growing in ponds. But these are our mediums. This is what me and my grandpa fished with forever. I've never fished with anything else but this medium goldfish. It's 150 of these fish to a pound, so that we call them 150 count. We just put these on jigs and catch crappie, bass, catfish, whatever you want to catch. So you go from a feeder, a medium, to a trot line pond. Why we call them trot line, a lot of people buy these bait for fishing in bayous, rivers, lakes, go a little bit step bigger, and these will range all the way up from 3 inches to 8 inches, 10 inches is what people in the rivers, they like a bigger fish. But so we'll hang these on you know, limb lines or trot lines, and to me they're the hardiest bait. I mean, sometimes we take them off the hook and use them the next day.
Pool produces brim, fathead minnows, and a new offering for the anglers looking for something different.
This is kind of a new product, or a new fish we kind of introduced to our line, and they're just black goldfish, straight black goldfish. And a lot of people buy these in substitute for shiners or brim when they can't find them. There's a certain time of the year that a lot of people run out, and they kind of shine in the water like a you know, a darker fish. So a lot of people substitute those for, you know, running their lines and stuff.
With all these choices of which fish to use, they get to the customer by way of a complex shipping department.
So what these guys are doing here is they're taking fish from the bats, they're weighing them out to whatever the order is before, putting them in the bag, and then go around the conveyor belt, put the oxygen in the bag, tie it, send them down the line where they'll send them through a tape machine, slap their order on it, or slap their packing address on it, and then a conveyor belt will send them up into the truck, a refrigerated truck, where they'll take these fish today. I mean, it's 1, 2 o'clock right now. These fish will be where they're going to get tomorrow by 10 o'clock, all over the United States.
So now you've seen how the bait is grown and specialized for your own fishing experience. Now let's see how the bait is certified healthy, hardy, and safe. This is where a team of scientists take samples from every farm to make sure safe bait stays safe. Meet Dr. Nylima. How many fish come through here when it's testing season?
So it depends on 10,000 to 12,000 fish.
Wow.
Per season. So we do all kinds of different bait fish species, and we follow according to their regulations or where they are shipping their fish. So every state, whatever they are shipping their fish, we follow those regulations, and then we test accordingly.
All right, so what do we do next with these guys?
So now they are sleeping. So we will take them to another lab and add some 70% alcohol to it. so that they will be clean from outside and we can do their bacterial checking over there.
These scientists are looking for both bacteria and viruses. Yes, we use the word virus. The fish don't have COVID, but the same PCR test used to find COVID in humans will also find bad viruses in fish.
The same type of test, exact same type of test. Yeah, you can look for all kinds of viruses that way.
The kidneys and the spleen provide the best target-rich environments for the testing.
I'm going to collect kidney and just get a little bit of that to right there. And then the spleen is the hard part. Can be. Different fish, it likes to hide. It's always near the intestines. And then we'll do this 4 more times and then collect that in our little collection bags. Then they're mixed with a buffer and homogenized, basically making a puree around, and then that is taken up to our virology department for PCR testing for viruses.
Gerald Dizelle works with all sizes of animals, and this is one of the smaller ones. And these fish are smaller animals than what you're used to dealing with.
Very much so.
What other animals do you deal with besides this?
Oh gosh, well just for example, we have a cow.
Okay.
So I'm necropsy right now. Kidney is pretty easy to find here.
I'm guessing the kidney on a cow is a little bit bigger.
Oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe it. Yes, sir.
Next stop is the virology department.
And essentially what we're wanting to do is develop all these chemical components together to eventually put into a machine that replicates that pathogen to a detectable level. And then from there we can put it into our thermocyclers after creating this master mix that will allow us to amplify that particular pathogen if it's in the sample. And if it's not in the sample, then it's non-detected and the customers are happy, we're happy.
Everything's good to go. Okay, so if it all comes back clean, we're in good shape.
We're in good shape. That's what we want to see.
No cells are dead, then we know we've got it good. But if we've got a problem, then what happens?
If we've got a problem, then that's when we take it a step further and we do PCR testing.
Okay.
And see what we've got there and you know, is it truly a virus or was there just something else that contaminated the sample?
A lot of your viewers probably have some favorite fishing holes, maybe even some secret ones, and nobody wants the disease or the parasite getting into their body of water, especially when it could be prevented by this program, which is voluntary, that the bait fish producers here in Arkansas participate in.
And that is how it all happens. You've seen how the fish are grown, and now you know all the science and scientists behind what makes it healthy, hardy, and safe. This is why you need to ask for certified Arkansas bait fish wherever you buy bait. When Live Bait returns, we'll give you a great tip on taking care of your bait while you're fishing, and we'll go out to Orlando, Florida and hear about some new innovations on the traditional tackle box. We will feature a lot of your photos throughout this season. Send them in to fishphotos@livebaittv.com. We want to make your fishing experience successful and simple. Here's Landon Poole with a great tip on taking care of your bait while fishing.
We talked a lot about disease, but really what gets your fish in your bait bucket is the ammonia buildup. Them evacuating plus the microorganisms in the water, breaking down, everything's gone. That's why it's so important to be changing out that water, you know, at least every hour, 30 minutes. Just take a cup out, put a cup back in. It'll keep your bait a lot fresher, a lot longer. I mean, people run aerators and stuff, but you're still going to have that ammonia buildup. So it's all about keeping a good balance.
Each year, the American Sports Fishing Association hosts the International Convention of Allied Sports Fishing Trades. It's very wordy when you say it like that, but it makes a great acronym, ICAST, and it's a great place to see the new products. Got my friend Chris Russell here. Chris, we've known each other a long time.
We have, yeah, that's for sure. How you been?
I've been great. And it's nothing better than this right here.
That is true, very true, yes sir.
We've got some stuff here that really can kind of appeal to the angler who's going to be on the bank, who's got to carry everything. Kind of talk to us a little bit about what's going on with Plano here.
Yeah, these are two brand new items from Plano. It's a standard backpack and then a sling pack. They're both in our weekend series, Carlton, and these are kind of a starting price point. They've got a lot of features, but they're not really expensive, and they're perfect for just what you said. Someone that's walking down to the local pond, they're fishing off the end of the dock, riding their bike, whatever it might be, to go catch their fish at the local area, right? They're not necessarily a boat angler.
That's one of the misnomers in fishing is you think, okay, I can't fish because I don't have a $70,000 bass boat.
Right.
No, there's a lot of great fishing on the banks, and when you've got the right tools to be able to get on the bank, you can have a great time. This is exciting for our live bait customers right here.
It is,
Tell me about this.
Well, we know live bait catches fish, right? We know that. That's a fact. And this is an item we at Frabill have been making live bait storage for years. We make 5-gallon buckets, we make big coolers like these ones behind us, but we haven't ever made an item that's real mobile or small. So we introduced this year. It actually won Best of Show here for coolers, and it's an insulated soft-sided cooler that now we've turned into a bait management system. So it's got an aerator on the side. It runs either on 1 or 2 AA batteries. It's real quiet, and it zips all the way up, completely waterproof. It's got this great hatch right on the top though. So you can reach in either with a minnow net, you can reach in and grab a night crawler, you could put cut bait in here if you want to because it's insulated, but it's really perfect for minnows or shiners. Scoop one out and then just close this back up and you're ready to go. And it's really easy to carry. It's lightweight, but it's durable enough because of this hard bottom. You can take it down to the bank and it's not going to get torn up, get a hole punched in it or anything like that.
We had a lot of fun today, and we hope you did too. You saw some great bait and the immense preparations at Pool Fisheries with some good tips on taking care of your bait while you're fishing. We also got to see first fish with 4-year-old Trip. And you got to see that even tackle boxes get innovative every year. We'll have more from ICAST on future episodes of Live Bait. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.